Chapter 6, 151, Guilt-ridden Tai Bai Yun. Translator. Chibi General Editor, Chibi General. The stagnation of his cultivation was only the main drawback. Other than that, there were many other smaller drawbacks. One of them was the fact that he had no sense of pain. His cognition slowing down was another problem. In this world, Wisdom Path had already deciphered the mysteries behind how a person thinks. When a person thinks, many thoughts would be created in their minds. Intelligent people would generate a large number of thoughts more quickly, while stupid people would generate fewer thoughts and at a slower pace. When these individual thoughts collide into one another, they would fuse or possibly be destroyed. Eventually, one or more new thoughts would be created. These new thoughts would be the result of their thinking. The brain is the place which gives birth to thoughts. It is an important domain for all life forms when they think. But this domain is decided on two aspects. One was the body, while the other was the soul. If a person's soul resided in a wild beast body, then this wild beast would become very intelligent. This level of intelligence would far surpass an ordinary wild beast, but would be lower than a normal human being. Oskanagu is the essence of heaven and earth. Man is the spirit of all beings. Among all living beings, humans were the most intelligent. To achieve this, one needed a human's physical body and a human's soul. Now that Fang Yuan's body was completely dead, only his soul was intact. Thus, in his mind, the number of thoughts generated would be much fewer, and the speed of his cognition would reduce greatly. Intensive thinking would lead to a sharp fall in the number of thoughts, because the zombie's mind produces fewer thoughts, and at a slower pace, the thoughts generated cannot keep up with the expenditure of thoughts. If Fang Yuan was a brute, so be it, but he was very skilled at scheming. He was an ambitious person who was used to plotting. In order to succeed in situations after becoming a zombie, he felt very uncomfortable. He was not used to this new change at all. No wonder most zombies like First Gen Gu Yue choose to enter deep sleep. When one is sleeping, they would think less, and the consumption of their thoughts would fall sharply. Thus, they would be able to accumulate more thoughts in their mind. When they battle, they would think intensely and use up these thoughts. Fang Yuan had a new understanding in his mind. This was the same reason as that of Giant Sun's will, who chose to enter deep sleep. The less I think, the more dull and slow I would become. To think that one day I, Gu Yue Fang Yuan, would turn into an idiot. Fang Yuan mocked himself in his mind, collecting his scattered thoughts. Next, he turned to Little Hu Immortal. Bring my senior brother Tai Bai Yun Sheng in here. I want to meet him. Little Hu Immortal replied to him obediently, immediately vanishing from the spot. She was the land spirit. She could freely teleport anywhere within Hu Immortal Blessed Land. After 10 breaths of time, Little Hu Immortal reappeared, this time bringing Tai Bai Yun Sheng with her. Junior brother, you, sigh. What shall we do now? Taking a look at Fang Yuan, Tai Bai Yun Sheng was stunned. His eyes turned red as he spoke in a choking voice. He already was aware of the fact regarding Fang Yuan turning into a 6-armed heavenly zombie king completely. This was something Fang Yuan had specified to Little Hu Immortal earlier, as something that could be exposed to Tai Bai Yun Sheng. Fang Yuan laughed heartily. Originally, I had advanced into a strength path, Gu Immortal. What a pity that I have ended up in this state. There is no choice. I will have to continue calling you senior brother. Come. Senior brother, this is a crude place. Please find a block of stone and take a seat. The cave that Fang Yuan was in now was dug out from the center of Donghun Mountain back in the day by Fairy Bai Hu. It was the place where she had built Donghun Palace. After Donghun Mountain was destroyed by the Gruel Mud Immortal Gu, Fang Yuan had returned it to normal with Tai Bai Yun Sheng. The restored Donghun Mountain retained this mountain cave. But the golden bricks, the silver tiles, the pink curtains, the large round bed, the golden silk blankets, and the fragrant wind chimes that were in Donghun Palace were nowhere to be found. Rank 6, Immortal Gu landscape as before. It could restore any mountain or body of water back to a state in the past. The furniture inside Donghun Palace did not count as being part of a mountain or body of water. Of course, Fang Yuan did not want to restore the former Donghun Palace either. After all, Fairy Bai Hu's bedroom was way too pink, It was filled with a feminine aura and did not suit Fang Yuan. There was no furniture in the mountain cave. It was really crude and simple. Tai Bai Yun Sheng chose the boulder closest to Fang Yuan and sat down. Right now, his inner thoughts were filled with concern, gratitude, and unconditional trust towards Fang Yuan. After all, the two of them had braved dangers and near-death experiences together. They had gone through a lot in northern plains and had witnessed the sincerity and feelings in each other's hearts. Not to mention the 2 times Fang Yuan had helped Tai Bai Yun Sheng in the true inheritance secluded domain, he did not hesitate at all, not even batting an eyelid. The first time it was to retrieve landscape as before immortal Gu, while the second time he gave up on man, as before immortal Gu, in order to save Tai Bai Yun Sheng's life. During that moment, Tai Bai Yun Sheng was so touched his tears nearly flowed down his cheeks. He had a Gu immortal inheritance. He naturally knew the immense attraction an immortal Gu had towards a Gu immortal. Fang Yuan gave up on the immortal Gu in order to save him. Tai Bai Yun Sheng. This completely displayed Fang Yuan's true feelings. After that, Tai Bai Yun Sheng was captured by He Lu Lan. Fang Yuan immediately changed his direction. Taking back man as before Gu first, Tai Bai Yun Sheng was in complete agreement with his actions and his heart settled. This was truly a rational decision. When he woke up, he found that he was inside Hu immortal blessed land and was out of danger. Tai Bai Yun Sheng was jubilant. Being able to luckily maintain his life was naturally a very joyous matter. But what made him even happier was that afterwards, seeing that he had woken up, little Hu immortal returned landscape as before and man as before, these 2 immortal Gu back to him. Tai Bai Yun Sheng had a soft and kind nature. He had deep attachment towards these 2 immortal Gu. Regaining his important treasures after losing them, he was truly overjoyed. But when he heard about Fang Yuan's situation from little Hu immortal, his heart shuddered. All of his joy was swept away. His inner thoughts was filled with sadness, guilt, regret, and pity. Thus he had repeatedly tried to meet Fang Yuan, attempting to give it his all to save this junior brother. At this moment, he sat on the stone boulder. He had an expression of grief as he sighed deeply. I am ashamed. Not only did junior brother save this life of mine, I even have to bear your consolation and kind words after meeting you. Fang Yuan stretched out one arm, patting Tai Bai Yun Sheng's shoulders, using his hoarse voice as he laughed. Destiny is unpredictable. Most things in life do not go your way. As a person, we should be more open-minded. Although I became a zombie, it is still halfway between life and death. Compared to those dead people in Giant Sun's will, we are much better. Especially when at the final moment, I even obtained wisdom. Gu. This is a huge profit. Senior brother does not need to blame yourself. You should be happy. When Fang Yuan was leaving, he opened the stargate. Wisdom Gu knew that this was a tunnel to the outside world. Its survival instincts urged it to fly towards Fang Yuan on its own initiative. This was something Fang Yuan had expected. Stargate Gu was a mortal Gu. It could not contain the aura of an immortal Gu. Fang Yuan gritted his teeth as he forcefully placed Wisdom Gu in his immortal aperture. Even though Wisdom Gu restrained its own aura, in Fang Yuan's immortal aperture was a dead land. Having much greater capability to support it, Fang Yuan was barely able to handle it during the short period of time needed to pass through the Stargate. The moment he returned to Hu Immortal Blessed Land, he quickly let Wisdom Gu out. Hu Immortal Blessed Land was a rank 6 immortal aperture, but it was situated on Tianti Mountain. It took in the earth chi of Central Continent and was very stable. It was not comparable with an immortal aperture that was still in a Gu immortal's body. Regarding Wisdom Gu, Tai Bai Yun Sheng was aware of the matter. An outstanding person will do outstanding things. Junior brother's abilities have truly made me feel nothing but deep admiration. But even the legendary rank 9 immortal Gu would not be able to treat junior brother's zombie body. Why don't you let me try and use man as before Gu? Tai Bai Yun Sheng was very emotional. At this point, he had already stood up, ready to give it a try. But Fang Yuan stopped him. Senior brother, You know clearly deep within your mind that this man is before immortal goo can only return a person to a prior state within one moment in the past. Although it can revive a person, such a long time has already gone by. I do not know what countless number of moments have passed since then. How can it possible heal me? It will be in vain even if you try. Why should you waste your precious green grape immortal essence? Tai Bai Yun Sheng's expression was ashen. His emotions were unstable. When Fang Yuan had finished his words, he suddenly stretched out his palms, slapping harshly on his own face. Crack, crack, crack. 5 to 6 sharp sounds were heard. Tai Bai Yun Sheng was actually slapping himself. Senior brother, stop it! What are you doing this for? Fang Yuan acted like he was caught off guard. He hurriedly stood up, stretching out 2 arms and grabbing Tai Bai Yun Sheng's hands. Tai Bai Yun Sheng could not compete with Fang Yuan's strength at all. After being immobilized, he cried profusely, Junior brother, I have let you down. I am really very sorry. As he cried, his knees bent as he actually attempted to kneel down. Fang Yuan quickly grabbed him, asking in shock, Senior brother, what are you doing? Junior brother, if back then I had lent man as before immortal goo to you, you would have been able to use it at the crucial moment and would not have turned into this current form. Tai Bai Yun Sheng said, with a tear-stricken face. He was a very kind person, although he had indirectly caused the death of Gao Yang and Zhu Zai in the past. That was just a person's instincts to survive. To him, Fang Yuan was the savior of his life, a benefactor. He was also his junior brother. They had the same master, but this person who was his benefactor and junior brother was harmed because of his own negligence. If back then, Tai Bai Yun Sheng had taken the initiative to lend his goo worm to Fang Yuan would not have ended up in such an awkward state. After Tai Bai Yun Sheng woke up, this thought had been lurking in his mind. It caused him to feel great grief and regret. He was in deep agony. At this moment, Tai Bai Yun Sheng was weakly falling toward the ground. He was in agony and regret. He was only supported by Fang Yuan's 2 arms. Fang Yuan was 6 meters tall. He looked down at the crying Tai Bai Yun Sheng from above as a trace of eeriness flashed across his eyes. I am very glad that you have such thoughts. He laughed in his mind, but with his mouth he sounded very sincere as he said, Senior brother, you do not need to be like this. Although a zombie's body is very hard to revert, there exist many ways and methods that are available for me. And don't forget that we have wisdom, goo here. Tai Bai. Yun Sheng slowly shook his head. He spoke weakly. Wisdom. Wisdom goo is as high as rank 9. It came here with you all because of its survival instincts. Junior brother, even if you are a rank 6 goo immortal, you are unable to refine it, and there is no way you can control it. Of course I understand this, but even like this, just a bit of the light of wisdom is able to give me great rewards. In fact, my current zombie body has no lifespan. It is even more suitable for getting close to wisdom goo. Fang Yuan stretched out his 3rd arm, patting Tai Bai Yun Sheng's back lightly, as he explained amicably. And what's more, I still have Mo Yao's will. Mo Yao? Tai Bai Yun Sheng was confused. This was an additional gain of mine in 88 True Yang building. Mo Yao was once a refinement path grandmaster, a certain generation's fairy of Central Continent's spirit affinity house. Tai Bai. Yun Sheng was a born and bred man of Northern Plains. He had never heard of Mo Yao's name, but his spirit affinity house was one of the famous top 10 sects of Central Continent. He had heard of it before. A certain generation's fairy of spirit affinity house, as well as a refinement path grandmaster. It seems that this Mo Yao is not simple. Tai Bai Yun Sheng's gloomy expression eased. Fang Yuan laughed again, saying, And most importantly, senior brother, don't forget that we still have Master. I am sure that Master has a solution for this. I will not hide this from you. After Master handed me the mission for 88 True Yang building, he only left me a single consumable goo with the specific use of reporting the details to him. I had already used this goo 2 days ago, when I first returned to Hu Immortal Blessed Land. Fang Yuan had searched Tai Bai Yun Sheng's soul earlier in 88 True Yang building, and learnt about his life experiences as well as secrets. Tai Bai Yun Sheng had once met a mysterious beggar and obtained a time path Gu immortal inheritance from him. Thus Fang Yuan lied and swindled, using his eloquent tongue and world-class acting skills to convince Tai Bai Yun Sheng in 88 True Young Building, making him believe that both of them have the same master, which is that old beggar. Fang Yuan even gave that old beggar a random title of Purple Mountain True Monarch. Tai Bai Yun Sheng believed this lie from Fang Yuan completely. Now that Fang Yuan mentioned this, Tai Bai Yun Sheng's eyes were shining. So junior brother has a method to contact master. This is truly fantastic. Others might not have a way, but master is such a knowledgeable person. I am sure he has a method. The fires of hope were burning in his heart. From his tone, one could tell that the old beggar held a very important position within his inner thoughts. Tai Bai Yun Sheng was filled with confidence towards this old beggar. If at this moment he knew the truth, who knows what expression he would show. Fang Yuan showed no flaws, replying calmly, "Senior brother, don't be hasty. I believe that master's letter is going to come in a few days. We should wait patiently." Tai Bai Yun Sheng nodded. After Fang Yuan used the name of Purple Mountain True Monarch, his mood had finally calmed down. He stood up straight as Fang Yuan let go of his arms. Tai Bai Yun Sheng took a step back. His gaze was locked with Fang Yuan's bright red eyes. He raised his palm and placed it by his chest, saying with a very solemn expression, "Junior brother, I will engrave your kindness deep into my heart. I will never forget it. I swear to longevity heaven, even if master has no way to cure you, I, Tai Bai Yun Sheng, will spend my entire life looking for a way to revive you, junior brother." Ha 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 ha. Longevity heaven is giant sun immortal venerables grotto heaven. We have just wrecked this old fellow's True Yang building. Now you are swearing in its name. This is simply too ironic. Fang Yuan raised his head and laughed. "Senior brother, I will be frank with you. We are all master's pupils, and I have saved your life before. A droplet received in need will be repaid with an entire spring. Next, I will need you to repay me fully. Tell me." Tai Bai Yun Sheng immediately responded without a hesitation. He had long since decided to repay this debt. Even if Fang Yuan wanted him to do the impossible, he would have no objections. During these days after he woke up, he had felt extremely guilty. His conscience was taking a beating, and only by making a sacrifice for Fang Yuan would his heart feel slightly better. Thus, Fang Yuan also became solemn. "This matter, I have been thinking about it for a long time. That is our seniority issue. I am Master's legacy disciple, but because you became an immortal, you caught up to me. I am unsatisfied with this. I was originally a strength path Gu immortal, even though I turned into a zombie. But sooner or later, there will be a day when I revert back. Thus, according to seniority, I am the senior brother. You are the junior brother." "What?" Tai Bai Yun Sheng stared with his eyes wide open. He had never expected that the great debt Fang Yuan was requesting him to pay back was for such a tiny matter. A touched feeling welled up in his heart. Fang Yuan was someone who did not want to take advantage of his favor. But was he, Tai Bai Yun Sheng, someone who did not know how to repay favors? Tai Bai Yun Sheng thought in his mind. He sighed and stretched out his palm, patting Fang Yuan's leg, which was tough like a mountain rock. His sharp and rough leg hair even caused pain to Tai Bai Yun Sheng's palm. Fang Yuan was like a giant, about 6 meters tall. Tai Bai Yun Sheng could only pat his leg with that height. He was solemn before raising his head. Looking at Fang Yuan's face, he laughed teasingly. "Oh, junior brother, that is wishful thinking. How can a thing like seniority be so easily changed? Unless Master personally rearranges our positions, I will definitely still be your senior brother. Ha ha ha." Tai Bai Yun Sheng was a man not lacking in pride. How could he repay this huge favor so easily? "Hey!" Fang Yuan shouted, venting his unhappiness. "Old Bai, why are you such a petty person? Could it be that you forgot what I said earlier? I will definitely not call you senior brother." "Ha ha ha ha, junior brother, I can completely understand you. This senior brother does not mind." Tai Bai Yun Sheng laughed and laughed. He was so touched, his tears were overflowing. How many years had passed in which he had not laughed so joyfully? He had finally found his organization. Although he had not known Fang Yen for long, he felt very close to him. It was as if they were family. His laughter was echoing in the mountain cave, with the pink crystal mountain walls also looking very heartwarming at this moment.